Well, now it's time for the main event. The Usos against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag titles, brought to you by TurboTax.
Well, it is a season, I guess.
This was the dream of Owens and Zayn to headline in the TurboTax main event of WrestleMania. Lil Uzi Vert came out to perform as the Usos came out, and they all posed together at the front. And then Owens and Zayn walk out, and their gear features like patches with like a PWG and Super Dragon inspired logos on their gear, which were, what Owens had mentioned earlier this week about their tribute to PWG. And Michael Cole puts over the fact that for these guys, there's no pyro, no zip lines, no musical act. They are the blue collar superstars. The blue collar superstars.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess, is that part of the appeal of them? I mean, they certainly don't look like a Roman Reigns or John Cena. They look like us, or
felt like a very Vince McMahon branding of who are these guys? Who are Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? They're blue collar superstars.
Yeah.
They get the heat on Zayn at the beginning, and they're just beating on him until he makes the tag to Owens, who just comes in and runs wild. He hits frog splashes onto both Usos, super kicks Jimmy, hits a cannonball, and then Zayn stops Jay on the edge of the apron with a brain buster, followed by a swanton as Owens gets the first near fall on Jimmy. Zayn then hits his own Uso splash onto Jimmy, but he kicks out, and Michael Cole says that El Generico would be proud. Well, it never gets old, the Michael Cole game.
Yeah, this is modern day Michael Cole. I'm sure he's watched every edition of whatever. He's got quite the High Spots DVD collection, I'm sure.
Did he watch the Yoshihiko match this week? Or one of them?
Maybe he was secretly there at the Ukrainian Cultural Center.
Might have been. The Usos then come back, and they drill Zayn with super kicks together. Owens makes the save. He gets blasted with a super kick. Then another double set of super kicks to Zayn, but he kicks out. They continue, and Zayn is pretty much like about to lose consciousness. Like, he is just beaten down. He's selling tremendously well. And Owens tries to attack. They get onto the desk, but the Usos prevail, and they choke slam Owens through the desk. Then they go back into the ring. They hit the 1D on Sami Zayn. And I think, as much as everyone assumed that Owens and Zayn was winning this, they have protected this 1D. And this is the time that you do a near fall for the 1D. And when Zayn kicked out, this whole place exploded. I mean, that's why you protect the finisher. And this is the time when you cash out, you get that big reaction, and that's what they got here. I thought it was a great spot. Jay is screaming at Sami, "I called you a brother," and he's blasting him with forearms, and then Jay goes for the haluva kick, and he catches Zayn and his lifeless body in his arms, telling him, "You never should have left the bloodline." And Zayn gets enough energy to deliver a Hail Mary exploder, sending Jay into the corner. Owens fights back after the chokeslam through the desk onto the apron, and the tag is made. He hits pop-up power bombs to Jimmy and Jay, and Kevin is screaming, "Now! Now!" And Sami nails Jimmy with the haluva kick. Owens hits the stunner. Jay kicks out, and this place is going nuts. The four men battle to their feet, and they have this big face-off, and they go at it. The place continues to go wild. Multiple super kicks to Owens. Then they hit Zayn with a pair, and then a stereo Uso splash. Owens kicks out, and dude, Michael Cole is having a hell of a show. Like, he is just, he added a lot, and this match was no exception. He was just in rare form here. The camera, like, they are getting right in on the action, and unfortunately, they go right into the corner as Owens is whispering the next spot to Jay about the double super kick.
And so a lot of this, bloodline Roman Reigns style has been built on in-ring communication, and that's when they sometimes lift the microphone to let the wrestler speak. And it was used a little bit here with Jay. Sometimes, unfortunately, it picks up
the wrong, like, it's tough, thing. Right? I mean,
like
this
with that Cena match,
dude, Cena, it was very noticeable, and that's and he's not part of the bloodline angle.
No.
So
no, he's not.
Yeah, those are the noticeable ones for me, were Cena and then this spot. So they hit Owens with a double super kick, and then Zayn grabs Jimmy and throws him over the desk. Owens manages a fisherman buster to Jay off the turnbuckle, and Zayn wants to tag. He comes in, Jay staggers up into the corner. Zayn just stares a hole through Jay from across the ring and blasts him with the haluva kick, which I believe Cole yelled, makes you feel Uso good, or must feel Uso good. So a little bit of Moro still in Michael Cole. And he holds Jay, hits a second haluva kick. Then there's a stunner to Jimmy. Zayn is not done. He hits a third haluva kick to Jay and pins Jay in 24 minutes and 17 seconds. It was the guy that needed to get the pin on the guy that he needed to pin. And it ends the historic reign of the Usos as Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win. Gigantic pop. And listen, as much as the women killed it in their match, I think they made the right call. This was like the story culmination. It was the big title change. It was the Usos finally losing. It just bleeds into tomorrow night with Cody. This was just a great match. To me, it was the match of the show. It was, and there were some candidates on this show.
Yeah, there really were. And you could go with a number of options. And I would disagree with several of them. I thought this match was more than a worthy WrestleMania main event. And I thought the biggest moment for me was right after the match and seeing this face on Kevin Owens, where he just, whether in character or I'm sure, probably a lot of real life is slipping in here. Like it felt like he almost had like a realization of what they just accomplished. He and his friend, a guy that you and I saw at St. John's Hall in Mississauga, now has main evented 2 WrestleManias. But this one I think is even more special because this was not reliant on a Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was not reliant on a nostalgia act. This was built and earned every bit by the performers involved in this match. A tag team match, main eventing of WrestleMania. I don't believe it's happened since the first one. And just it just tells you like the incredible odds that these guys might have just, had to overcome with their great story. So credit to him, credit to Sami Zayn, credit to the Usos for getting this moment and getting this spot. I thought they more than lived up to it. It puts a wonderful exclamation mark on a beautifully told story. Do us a huge favor and subscribe to the channel so that you know when to come back tomorrow. If you're enjoying these types of podcasts, we go live every Monday night, every Wednesday night. And if you're a Post Wrestling Cafe patron or video.postwrestling.com patron as well, we go live on Fridays as well as numerous times throughout the week for all of you guys. So we'd love it if you can help out the channel. We're still trying to grow it. We're relatively small by, pro wrestling YouTube standards. So help us get up there, subscribe.
Yeah, we're trying to get up there to the heavyweights, like cold as balls.
What's that?
That's Kevin Hart's podcast that they were promoting. Logan Paul was on this week.
Okay.
Cold as balls.
I'm glad I asked for that context because
yes,
I guess I could have just left it.
We will also mention for Post Wrestling Cafe members as well, and we appreciate all the people that have jumped on, new subscribers this week. We will be putting out a show this week where we are going to go back and we are going to discuss heavily the infamous CM Punk appearance on The Art of Wrestling in November of 2014. We're going to re-listen to the first. There were actually back-to-back weeks. The first week, which is the sizable one, and look at it 9 years later, almost 9 years later. So that will be coming up. PostWrestlingCafe.com. $6 gets you in the door. Tons of bonus shows. We had a lot of great interviews up on the site this week with Brandon Thurston, Dave Meltzer, Speedball Mike Bailey that are there in their entirety from this past week, and it helps support the site as well. So you can check that out, postwrestlingcafe.com.